You carried the weight long after everyone else stopped paying attention. You smiled when your heart felt tired. You showed up when every part of you wanted to retreat and rest. You kept moving forward through seasons that seemed endless, through disappointments that left scars nobody could see, through moments when it felt as though your efforts were disappearing into silence. There were days when you wondered if anyone truly understood how much strength it took just to continue. There were nights when the world was asleep, yet your mind was still carrying burdens that never seemed to become lighter. You endured setbacks that would have convinced many people to quit. You faced rejection that shook your confidence. You experienced loneliness that cannot easily be explained because it existed even when other people were nearby. You gave kindness when you received little in return. You offered understanding when others misunderstood you. You extended grace while carrying wounds of your own. Through it all, something remarkable remained alive within you. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was a quiet strength that refused to disappear. It was a resilience that kept rising every time life attempted to push you down. The fact that you are still standing today says more about your strength than you realize. Many of your greatest victories never received applause. Many of your bravest moments happened in silence. Some of your most important battles were fought entirely within your heart, where nobody else could witness the effort it took to keep believing, keep hoping, and keep moving forward. You have carried burdens that few people ever noticed. Your kindness cost you more than most people will ever understand. Yet even in those difficult seasons, something valuable was being formed within you. Every challenge developed deeper wisdom. Every disappointment taught greater discernment. Every delay strengthened patience. Every hardship expanded your capacity for compassion. The seasons that tested you were also shaping you. What felt like endless waiting was often preparation. What felt like isolation was often growth taking place beneath the surface. There were lessons being written into your character that could not have been learned any other way. Looking back, you may see moments that appeared meaningless at the time, but not every struggle you endured was meaningless. Some experiences were preparing you to recognize blessings that others might overlook. Some hardships were teaching you how strong you truly are. Some disappointments were protecting you from paths that would never have led to the life you were meant to build. The truth is that your value has never been determined by recognition from other people. Your worth has never depended on applause, approval, popularity, or validation. Long before anyone noticed you, your life carried significance. Long before others appreciated your heart, your kindness mattered. Long before your efforts produced visible results, they had value. Sometimes the world measures people by achievements, status, and attention. Yet some of the most extraordinary qualities cannot be measured that way. Integrity cannot be measured by popularity. Compassion cannot be measured by followers. Perseverance cannot be measured by trophies. Faithfulness cannot be measured by public recognition. These are the qualities that often grow quietly, hidden from view, while shaping a life that becomes stronger with each passing year. You may have wondered why your journey seemed harder than expected. You may have questioned why certain doors remained closed despite your best efforts. You may have felt overlooked while watching others move ahead more quickly. Those feelings are real, and they deserve acknowledgement. Pain becomes heavier when it feels invisible. Struggles become more exhausting when they seem misunderstood. Yet, even in those moments, your story continued moving forward. Even when progress felt slow, growth was happening. Even when answers were delayed, your character was becoming stronger. There is a strength within you that kept moving forward even on your darkest days. That strength deserves recognition. It deserves appreciation. It deserves honor. Sometimes people underestimate what it takes to continue believing after repeated disappointments. They underestimate what it takes to remain kind after experiencing rejection. They underestimate what it takes to stay hopeful after seasons of uncertainty. Yet you continued. You endured. You remained standing. That alone reveals something extraordinary about who you are. God saw the tears that nobody else noticed. He saw the prayers whispered in moments of weakness. He saw the courage required to take another step when your heart felt exhausted. He saw every sacrifice, every act of kindness, every moment of faithfulness that went unnoticed by others. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was forgotten. The chapters that felt empty were not empty to him. The seasons that felt silent were not absent of purpose. Even when answers did not arrive according to your timetable, your life was still moving through a process that carried meaning. The extraordinary often begins quietly. It does not always arrive with dramatic announcements or instant transformations. Sometimes it begins with healing replacing old pain. Sometimes it begins with peace settling into places once filled with anxiety. Sometimes it begins with confidence returning after years of self-doubt. Sometimes it begins with recognizing your own worth after spending too much time questioning it. The extraordinary can appear in ways that are gentle, steady, and deeply transformative. You may have spent years believing that your greatest days belonged in the past. You may have wondered whether opportunities had passed you by. Yet your story is not finished. The difficult chapters do not define the entire book. The setbacks do not determine the ending. The disappointments do not erase the possibilities that still exist ahead. There is still purpose within you. There is still value within you. There is still beauty waiting to emerge from experiences that once felt painful and confusing. Your story has value, even if it has not unfolded the way you expected. Life rarely follows the exact path we imagine. Dreams sometimes take longer than anticipated. Answers sometimes arrive in unexpected forms, yet that does not diminish the significance of your journey. In many ways, the detours, delays, and unexpected turns have contributed to the wisdom you now possess. They have deepened your understanding of others. They have strengthened your empathy. They have taught you how to appreciate blessings that might otherwise have been taken for granted. The person you are becoming carries strength, forged through experience, compassion, shaped through hardship, and resilience, developed through perseverance. These qualities are precious. They are rare. They are valuable beyond measure. There is a quiet dignity in those who continue showing kindness after experiencing pain. There is a quiet beauty in those who continue believing after disappointment. There is a quiet power in those who refuse to allow bitterness to define them. You have demonstrated these qualities more times than you realize. Every time you chose hope instead of despair, you revealed strength. Every time you chose kindness instead of resentment, you revealed character. Every time you chose faith instead of surrender, you revealed courage. These victories may have gone unnoticed by the world, but they were victories nonetheless. They mattered. They still matter. The extraordinary ahead is not about becoming someone different. It is about discovering the value that has been within you all along. It is about recognizing that the qualities developed through your struggles are preparing you for greater peace, deeper fulfillment, and stronger purpose. It is about understanding that difficult seasons do not have the final word. They are chapters, not conclusions. They are lessons, not definitions. They are experiences, not identities. You are worth far more than the moments that tried to make you feel small. You are worth far more than the disappointments that challenged your confidence. You are worth far more than the voices that failed to recognize your value. Your life carries meaning. Your journey carries significance. Your endurance carries purpose. The same strength that brought you through difficult seasons will continue carrying you forward. The same resilience that helped you survive challenging moments will help you embrace better days. The same faith that sustained you in silence will help you recognize blessings when they arrive. You endured everything, and because you endured, you now possess a depth of strength, wisdom and compassion that cannot be manufactured. It was earned through perseverance. It was shaped through experience. It was refined through faith. And while the road has not always been easy, your journey continues with hope, purpose, and the quiet assurance that your story still holds beautiful chapters yet to be written. There were seasons when it felt as though life kept asking more from you than it gave back. You poured effort into relationships that faded. You invested energy into opportunities that never developed the way you hoped. You carried responsibilities that seemed to grow heavier, while recognition grew smaller. At times, it may have felt as though you were walking through a landscape where every step required determination, and every victory demanded patience. Yet despite everything, you remained. You continued showing up. You continued trying. You continued believing that there had to be more ahead than the struggles behind you. That persistence reveals something profound about your spirit. Many people only see strength when it appears loud and obvious, but some of the greatest strength in the world is quiet. It is found in the person who gets out of bed after a difficult night. It is found in the person who keeps loving after experiencing disappointment. It is found in the person who keeps serving others while carrying private burdens. It is found in the person who continues trusting that life can improve even when current circumstances provide little evidence. That kind of strength lives within you. It has lived within you through every challenge, every setback, and every moment when giving up would have seemed easier than continuing. You have already proven your resilience many times. The proof is not found in perfection. The proof is found in endurance. The proof is found in your ability to continue moving forward despite uncertainty. Some people look at their scars and see only pain. Yet there is another way to view those experiences. Scars can also be reminders of survival. They can remind you that you faced storms and remained standing. They can remind you that difficult chapters came and went while your story continued. They can remind you that what once threatened to break you ultimately became part of the strength that carries you today. Every season left something behind. Some left wisdom. Some left maturity. Some left discernment. Some left compassion for others who are walking through similar struggles. While you may never have chosen every challenge you faced, those challenges helped shape qualities that cannot be acquired through comfort alone. There is a depth within you now that did not exist before. There is an understanding of life that can only come through experience. There is a quiet confidence that develops when a person survives situations they once believed would overwhelm them. That confidence may not always feel obvious, but it is there. It has been growing steadily beneath the surface. Sometimes people expect extraordinary blessings to appear as dramatic changes that happen overnight. Yet many of the most meaningful transformations occur gradually. Healing often arrives one step at a time. Confidence often returns one day at a time. Peace often settles into the heart little by little. Growth is rarely as dramatic as people imagine, but it is often far more powerful because it becomes lasting. You may already be experiencing changes within yourself that you have not fully recognized. Perhaps you recover more quickly from disappointment than you once did. Perhaps you understand your worth more deeply than before. Perhaps you are learning to release the need for approval from people who never truly saw your value. These changes matter. They are signs of progress. They are evidence that your journey is producing fruit, even when results are not immediately visible. There were moments when you felt forgotten. There were times when you wondered whether your efforts mattered. There were seasons when you looked around and felt as though everyone else was moving forward, while you remained stuck. Those feelings can be incredibly painful because they create the illusion that your story is standing still. Yet stories rarely unfold according to human timelines. Growth often happens underground, before it becomes visible above the surface. A tree spends years developing roots before producing the strength needed to withstand powerful storms. In the same way, many of the qualities being developed within you required time. They required patience. They required experiences that strengthened foundations rather than appearances. Looking back someday, you may realize that what felt like delay was often preparation. What felt like waiting was often development. What felt like silence was often a season of strengthening. God often works in ways that are not immediately obvious. He sees beyond individual moments and understands the larger picture. While you may have focused on immediate disappointments, He saw future possibilities. While you worried about closed doors, He understood which paths would ultimately serve your growth and well-being. While you questioned difficult seasons, He continued guiding your journey with wisdom beyond human understanding. This does not mean every painful experience was pleasant or easy. It simply means that pain does not possess the power to erase purpose. Difficulty does not possess the power to destroy value. Hardship does not possess the power to cancel destiny. The challenges you faced became part of your story, but they never became the entirety of your story. There is more to you than the battles you fought. There is more to you than the disappointments you endured. There is more to you than the losses you experienced. At your core lives a person of remarkable perseverance, quiet courage, and enduring faith. That person deserves appreciation. That person deserves respect. That person deserves to recognize the incredible distance already traveled. Sometimes people become so focused on how far they still want to go that they forget how far they have already come. Take a moment to consider the version of yourself that existed years ago. Consider the fears you carried. Consider the uncertainties you faced. Consider the obstacles that seemed impossible at the time. Then consider where you are now. You survived experiences that once felt overwhelming. You learned lessons that once seemed impossible to understand. You developed strength that once seemed beyond your reach. Growth may have been gradual, but it has been real. The fact that you continue searching for hope, purpose, and meaning reveals that your spirit remains alive and resilient. There is something beautiful about a heart that refuses to become hardened despite disappointment. There is something admirable about a person who remains compassionate despite being hurt. There is something extraordinary about someone who continues believing in goodness despite witnessing hardship. These qualities are not weaknesses, they are strengths. They reveal a depth of character that many people spend a lifetime trying to develop. Your kindness matters. Your patience matters. Your faithfulness matters. The sacrifices you made were not meaningless. The effort you invested was not wasted. The tears you shed were not ignored. God saw every moment. He saw every act of courage. He saw every decision to continue when stopping would have felt easier. He saw every private victory that nobody else celebrated. Those moments carried significance. They contributed to the person you are becoming. They strengthened qualities that will continue serving you in the years ahead. The extraordinary season before you is not necessarily defined by material gain, public recognition, or dramatic circumstances. Sometimes, the most extraordinary blessing is peace after years of turmoil. Sometimes it is clarity after confusion. Sometimes it is confidence after self-doubt. Sometimes it is the ability to wake up with renewed hope after spending years feeling discouraged. These blessings transform lives from the inside out. They create stability that circumstances cannot easily shake. They create joy that does not depend entirely on external conditions. They create strength that remains steady through both victories and challenges. You are entering a chapter where your endurance begins revealing its value in new ways. The lessons learned through hardship will guide future decisions. The wisdom gained through experience will help you recognize opportunities. The compassion developed through pain will deepen relationships. The resilience built through struggle will support future growth. Nothing you endured was capable of destroying the qualities that make you uniquely valuable. If anything, those qualities have become stronger. They have become more refined. They have become more deeply rooted. The extraordinary often emerges from places where people least expect it. It emerges from hearts that refused to quit. It emerges from lives that continued believing despite setbacks. It emerges from individuals who remained faithful through seasons that tested everything they thought they knew. Your story reflects that kind of perseverance. It reflects that kind of endurance. It reflects that kind of quiet strength. And because of that, there is reason to move forward with confidence. There is reason to expect good things. There is reason to believe that difficult seasons do not have the final word. Your journey is still unfolding. Your purpose is still developing. Your value remains unchanged by every challenge you faced. You endured more than many people will ever understand, but your endurance has revealed the remarkable strength that has been within you all along. The road behind you contains evidence of resilience. The road ahead contains opportunities for healing, growth, fulfillment, and peace. Continue carrying the knowledge that your life matters, your story matters, and your faithfulness through difficult seasons has created a foundation capable of supporting extraordinary things still to come. The extraordinary chapter that awaits you is not built upon luck, chance, or perfect circumstances. It is being built upon everything you survived. It is being built upon every lesson learned through hardship, every moment of perseverance through uncertainty, every act of faith during seasons when answers seemed distant. The very experiences that once made you question your path have contributed to the strength that now exists within you. Nothing can erase that truth. Every difficult season left behind something valuable. Every disappointment revealed something important. Every challenge strengthened muscles of the heart that comfort alone could never develop. Looking back, you may remember moments when you felt completely exhausted. You may remember periods when you wondered whether your efforts mattered. You may remember seasons when loneliness seemed to follow you no matter where you went. Yet here you are. Your story continued. Your faith continued. Your hope continued. The fact that you remained standing through all of it is evidence of a strength that deserves recognition. Too often people underestimate themselves because they focus only on what they still lack. They overlook the victories already achieved. They overlook the courage already demonstrated. They overlook the resilience already proven. But your journey tells a different story. It tells the story of a person who refused to surrender despite setbacks. It tells the story of a person who continued moving forward despite obstacles. It tells the story of someone who carried burdens that others never fully understood and still found a way to keep going. That kind of endurance is remarkable. It reveals character. It reveals depth. It reveals a quiet greatness that does not depend on public recognition. Many of the most important things happening in your life have occurred beneath the surface. They happened when nobody was watching. They happened during private moments when you chose faith over fear. They happened when you chose patience over frustration. They happened when you chose kindness, even though life had given you reasons to become bitter. These decisions may have seemed small at the time, but they shaped the person you are today. They strengthened your foundation. They prepared your heart for greater peace and deeper fulfillment. There are people who measure success entirely by visible achievements. They look only at titles, possessions, and public accomplishments. Yet some of life's greatest treasures cannot be measured that way. Wisdom cannot be purchased. Character cannot be inherited. Resilience cannot be borrowed. Compassion cannot be manufactured overnight. These qualities are developed through experience, and you possess them because you earned them through perseverance. Your journey has created depth within you. It has given you understanding that comes only from walking through real challenges. It has given you empathy for people who are hurting. It has given you appreciation for blessings that others might overlook. These qualities are priceless. They enrich your life in ways that external achievements alone never could. Sometimes people assume that extraordinary experiences belong only to a select few. They imagine that meaningful breakthroughs happen only for those with perfect circumstances. Yet life repeatedly proves otherwise. Some of the most inspiring transformations occur in the lives of ordinary people who simply refuse to quit. They occur in the hearts of individuals who continue believing after disappointment. They occur in the stories of people who remain faithful through seasons that seem impossible. You are one of those people. You have already demonstrated the persistence required to keep moving forward. You have already shown the courage necessary to continue despite uncertainty. You have already proven that your spirit is stronger than many of the circumstances that tried to defeat it. This is why your future should not be viewed through the lens of past disappointments. Your future deserves to be viewed through the lens of everything you have learned, everything you have overcome, and everything you have become. The person you are today is not the same person who entered previous battles. You are wiser now. You are stronger now. You are more resilient now. You possess knowledge that can only come through experience. You possess perspective that can only come through endurance. You possess a deeper understanding of your own value than you may have realized. There were times when other people failed to recognize your worth. There were moments when you felt overlooked, underestimated, or forgotten. Those experiences hurt because every human heart longs to be seen and appreciated. Yet the opinions of others never determined your value. Their inability to recognize your worth never diminished it. Your significance has always existed independently of external approval. The kindness you offered mattered. The sacrifices you made mattered. The faithfulness you demonstrated mattered. Even when those things went unnoticed, they retained their value. God saw them. He saw every effort. He saw every tear. He saw every silent prayer. He saw every moment when you chose perseverance over surrender. Nothing escaped his attention. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was forgotten. There is comfort in knowing that your life has never been invisible to him. Even during seasons when answers felt delayed, his awareness remained constant. Even during periods when you questioned your direction, his understanding remained complete. This does not mean every question received an immediate answer or every difficulty disappeared quickly. It means you were never abandoned. It means your story continued unfolding even when you could not see the entire picture. It means purpose remained present even during confusion. One day you may look back and recognize connections that are currently hidden from view. You may understand how certain disappointments protected you from unnecessary pain. You may see how particular delays created opportunities for growth. You may recognize how difficult seasons strengthened qualities that became essential later in life. Until then, you can move forward with confidence in what you already know. You know that you survived. You know that you endured. You know that you continued moving forward despite obstacles. Those truths alone provide a strong foundation for hope. Hope is powerful because it refuses to allow current circumstances to define future possibilities. Hope reminds you that difficult chapters are not final chapters. Hope reminds you that healing remains possible. Hope reminds you that growth continues even when progress feels slow. Hope reminds you that blessings often arrive after seasons of preparation. Your life contains reasons for hope. Your journey contains evidence that resilience works. Your story contains proof that perseverance matters. Every challenge you overcame demonstrates your capacity to overcome future obstacles. Every lesson you learned increases your ability to navigate future opportunities. Every act of faith strengthens your ability to trust during uncertain moments. You are not the same person who began this journey. You have been shaped by experience. You have been strengthened by endurance. You have been refined by perseverance. The extraordinary ahead is not about becoming worthy. You were already worthy. It is about recognizing the value that has always existed within you. It is about embracing the peace that comes from understanding your worth. It is about allowing old wounds to heal so that new possibilities can emerge. It is about moving forward with greater confidence, deeper faith, and renewed hope. Your story is still being written. There are meaningful moments still ahead. There are relationships still ahead. There are opportunities still ahead. There are blessings still ahead. There are reasons to smile that you have not yet experienced. There are victories that have not yet arrived. There are moments of peace that have not yet unfolded. The road behind you contains many challenges, but it also contains proof of your strength. The road ahead contains uncertainty, as every future does, but it also contains possibility. And possibility is where hope lives. Possibility is where healing grows. Possibility is where extraordinary things begin. Never underestimate what God can do with a heart that remained faithful through difficulty. Never underestimate what can emerge from years of perseverance. Never underestimate the power of quiet strength. Your kindness mattered. Your endurance mattered. Your faith mattered. Your patience mattered. The fact that you are still here, still believing, still hoping, and still moving forward is a testament to the remarkable strength within you. You endured everything that tried to stop you. You survived seasons that seemed endless. You carried burdens that others never fully understood. Yet through it all you remained, and because you remained, because you persevered, because you refused to surrender, you now stand prepared to experience the extraordinary growth, peace, fulfillment, and purpose that can emerge from a life shaped by resilience, strengthened by faith, and sustained by hope.